Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and I'm out here in the garage. I'm going to do kind of a two-part video today. Well, not really two parts, just two segments. We're going to do an upcoming projects video where I show off what I have into the channel for review, and then the second half is going to be me replying to some really mean comments. And I've been doing this for the past couple of weeks, and I got some real gems for you. But I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, so we're going to do the upcoming projects first. And then I'll let you know when I'm going to move on to the mean comments. So if you guys don't care about that or think I should ignore them, whatever, you can click away, okay? So I'll give you the warning before then. Let's talk about the guns I have in for review. I was able to return about 6 firearms I had borrowed from my friend D, and he had 3 more for me. And 2 of these are in a style or platform that I'm not really a huge fan of, but he knew that going into this. And these are going to be firearms that are chambered in full-powered rifle cartridges, but are in pistol or short-barreled configurations. I just find them to be absolutely obnoxious. Just, I don't know. And when it comes to like 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, and so forth, I prefer 16, well, longer than 16 really, but 18, 20-inch, 22-inch barrels. I just really feel like that maximizes the ballistic capabilities of that cartridge. And I understand that there's a lot of people out there that like the shorter stuff. That's very, very, very powerful. I get it. It's just not my thing. But I, of course, will try to review these as unbiased as possible and do my very best. The first firearm that we have on the table today is an LMT, or LMT Defense. This is the Mars HS. So it's the AR-10 version of the Mars platform. And the S meaning semi-automatic. And this is in 6.5 Creedmoor, and it has a 14.5-inch barrel. It is a pistol, as you can see, with the pistol brace here on the back. I knew that LMT made guns, of course, in black and in flat dark earth, but I had never seen one in olive drab, and that is what this is. I think the only thing D has changed out on this that I can remember right now is the buffer tube. He put on a Law Tactical folding buffer tube. And I think I can fold it. Yeah, there it goes, right there. So I can fold it that way. But that's not really going to change the performance or the accuracy of the gun in any way. And he did put on a really nice Night Force scope up here. So really cool, a platform. Excited to shoot this. I've reviewed a few guns in 6.5. And this is going to be another. But hopefully the 14.5-inch barrel version is not going to be as obnoxious as, let's say, a 11-inch version or a 12-inch version. So we'll just have to see on that one. All right. The next pistol, put that in air quotes, I have to review, is another Noveske. Now, Noveske, I'll move that over. Now, Noveske makes, honestly, the best billet upper and lower receivers in the AR world. Typically, I don't like billet stuff. I understand you can make really cool designs on the uppers and lowers. Sometimes the companies that do that get a little bit goofy, in my opinion. They have like the skulls and the stuff that looks like it's from a sci-fi movie. I'm not really into that. But Noveske makes some classy looking ones, and their stuff always seems to be in spec. When it comes to other billet uppers and lowers, many times something about it just isn't right. I've just always preferred forged. But this is the Leonidas, or the Heavy Leonidas, and I believe that is the name of the Spartan general at the Battle of Thermopylae. If you guys know your ancient Greek history, I believe his trials and tribulations were shown in the movie 300. But very interesting battle that honestly shaped the world that we have today. But this firearm is named after him. They always have, cool names like the Infidel and the Space Invader and so forth. They're kind of like Q in that way, where they always have just interesting names. But this is the Leonidas. This is in 308, and it is a 12.5-inch barrel. So this thing is going to be kind of loud. Now, I'm going to review the LMT on the long distance range. I think I'm going to review this one as a kind of a home defense carbine, just because the way it kind of is set up. It has a really interesting vortex scope on it. D was telling me that this is one of only like 50 that were, I guess, imported into the U.S. And this is like their high-end top of the line stuff. You know, when it comes to Vortex scopes and optics, they probably have the biggest range of optics when it comes to price. You know, they got their entry level stuff, which is really cheap and I don't really trust. And then they got their kind of mid-range stuff. I kind of think that they excel in that area. They offer quality mid-range scopes and optics for a pretty good price, and you get lots of options. But then they got their super high-end tier stuff, and that's what this one is. And I'll have to get you all of the information on what this is in the range report. But that's what this is all about here. He had to buy it as a package deal with, I think, a Daniel Defense to just get this. But it's supposed to be just absolutely top-of-the-line Vortex. So I believe it's in the multiple thousands of dollars, like lots of thousands of dollars. So really interesting to get to use this scope. I'm not going to review the scope, but I think it matches up with this gun really well. But I think I'm going to review this one as like a self-defense carbine. So at like the shorter range, and being 308, it might be a little bit on the overkill. But this is the Noveske Leonidas, 12.5-inch barrel, 308. I do like the fact the handguard has this little opening so you can adjust the gas block really easy. All these guns are, or both these guns I just showed you, are direct impingement. They're not piston, I don't think. Let me see here. I don't believe this one is piston. I believe it is. If I can get in there. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's gas. It's gas. 100% sure in there. I could be wrong, but I can't see under that handguard. But, yeah. I know for a fact this one is gas because I can see the gas tube right there. So that'll be the second firearm I have in for review. Very nice. And finally, something that is going to be a little bit out of my wheelhouse as well. But I am excited to get to try it because I see a lot of advertisements for it. Here we have the Q Mini Fix. So this is a bolt-action firearm chambered in 300 blackout. I believe it's a, I'll have to look at the specs again, 8-inch barrel? 8 or 9-inch barrel. And so we have the bolt action in the back here. And this is supposed to be exceptionally accurate for 300 blackout. Because it's bolt action, doesn't matter if you run supers or subs or anything through it, because you're not having to worry about the action. It is magazine fed, and it has many controls just like an AR, which I do like. This is really cool in the fact that you get a bolt action firearm and kind of a semi-automatic feeling gun. So, you know, you got the pistol grip. It looks like, well, maybe I have to see here. Obviously, the mechanism inside for firing, it's not going to use an AR-15, you know, trigger group or anything, but it uses a safety selector switch. Has a trigger shoe or face that's very similar to what they put into their other guns. You have a magazine release, kind of typically in the same spot. And that's going to use standard AR mags. We got the folding brace here on the back. Yes, this is once again is a pistol. But this is their short version of the Fix. So this is the Q Mini Fix. And I will review this one at the long distance range because I'm really curious if this thing is going to give me the accuracy I want with such a short barrel. And D also put on a really cool Night Force scope on this. So this is a very, very attractive gun. I like the color, and Q, you know, has all that interesting marketing and all that. So we'll just I have to see what this thing is all about. And that should be a lot of fun. So the Q Mini Fix pistol and 300 blackout bolt action. That's really neat. So there you go. So this is really cool because it's a folding bolt action gun you can probably put in a backpack. So yeah, so those are the 3 firearms I have in for review, and put those in the queue. So let me know what you think. What would you like to see first? And is there anything about these that I should know about or take into consideration before reviewing? All right, so let me move a couple things around here. I got to get my computer out. Let me put the mini fix right there. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the mean comments of the week. So if you do not want to watch this portion, or this portion that annoys you, you are now free to move on. And let's do the word of the day. We're going to do 2 words of the day. So if you made it to this point in the video, we're going to use the word, see here. We're going to use the word Q. Either the letter Q, or, because I put these guns in the Q, C-U-E, the Q. So either one works for me. All right, so that's the first word of the day. So now we're going to move on to the mean comments of the week. Now, I like to do this because I get some mean comments. And I went through a time in my life where I was in a situation where, to put things lightly, not a good place. And I was constantly surrounded by hate and negativity, and I have just moved on from that time in my life and escaped it. And so I just do not interact with these people, and I don't understand. In fact, I feel sorry for these people that live in this world where they want to hurt others more than they want to help others. And I know that we're all fallible people, right? We've all said things, done things that we regret or hurt other people, and we're aware of it. But I think in the aggregate, most people in general want to do good. And you can do good by just doing simple and easy things. And these people choose not to do that because you guys know my style, my content, what I do, what I try to do, what the philosophy of my channel is. And some people either can't behave, or because you feel differently than them, or you have an opinion that's different than them, they just feel like they have to lash out. So our first comment is coming from a Cashbaj 123, and it's on my range report of the Wilson Combat SFX9 with a 3.25-inch barrel. And he said, "Don't be a moron. People with eyesight problems really benefit from red dot sights, idiot. What a moron you are." So, now, I can respect his opinion in that this is something that I will say often, that I like and prefer iron sights. And I feel like using iron sights is the true test of a marksman. But I also understand, especially as I'm getting older, that older people might have issues seeing those sights, okay? And that's something that I have come around on, okay? I was a lot more hardcore iron sights years ago, but now I'm not as much. And so I understand why the red dots are more popular now than they've ever been. The technology has gotten a lot better and so forth. And so I try to be understanding. But this person, instead of just saying, hey, older people have a problem with iron sights, they might have visual problems, the red dot sights are a good option. And we can have a good dialogue about that. But this person just says, I'm a moron and I'm an idiot. So instead of engaging in what could have been very good and constructive dialogue, right? As I said, I am totally willing to admit that I was wrong when I was younger about iron sights only, okay? I admit that. I can grow too, okay? But they just wanted to call me a name. So that person just got banned, and I didn't even respond to them. But yeah, that's the way that they want to live. And I feel sorry for people that just over a little video on a Wilson Combat SFX9 felt that they had to call me a name. So I get stuff like this all the time, but yeah, people just want to be mean. All right, the next comment I have is from Jacques Bellevue, and it's on the range report of the Radiant Weapons Model 1 AR-15 and 223 Wild. And he says, "You must be joking. 25 and 50 yards accuracy test. Go Powd Salt. You lost me. Wake up." So this person obviously does not understand grammar. I mean, I'll try to fix it for him. I think, and of course he puts everything in all caps, meaning he's yelling. But he goes, "You must be joking." Okay, so he should have put like a period there or something to break up the sentence. And he goes, 25 and 50 yards accuracy test. That's not a complete saying, but then he uses a incorrect ellipses, so 4 dots. And then he says, go pound salt. I think he means pound salt, which I've never heard that saying. I've heard go pound sand, but not salt. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. And then he goes, you lost me, wake up. Okay, so I totally understand if my style of videos is not for you. Okay? I say in my channel introduction, if you go to like my main channel, I say, this is a channel that is run by an average gun owner, and my content is aimed at average gun people. Okay, so what I mean by that is, I am not a trick shot, I'm not a competitive shooter, I'm not a professional shooter. I do not claim to be. I don't claim to be the definitive authority on anything firearms. I am not in law enforcement. I'm not ex-military. I'm none of that. I'm just a regular guy that likes firearms, likes to talk about firearms. And I think that there's many people that are like this. And I believe the Second Amendment community is for everyone. It doesn't matter if you are a trick shot, a competitive shooter, in law enforcement, military, or you're just somebody that wants to buy one rifle and one pistol for home defense. Okay, and maybe you go to the range one time a year. The Second Amendment is still for you. You're still welcome in our community as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, so you deserve content no matter what level of owner you are. So I do not expect people that are ex-Navy SEALs or people that are the bearded tacticians to come to my channel, okay? The people that like to play the gun games, where they're out rolling in the dirt, they do the, doing pull-ups in trees with their AKs, and that's fine. If people want to do that type of stuff, totally fine with me, okay? I'm glad that content is out there for people. I don't personally enjoy it because I don't do any of that. I can't do it, and I don't want to do it. So I enjoy videos where I learn about how guns operate, the history of guns, or how somebody who might be someone like myself that just enjoys the mechanics of guns or the beauty of guns and the interest of guns at my level. So when I review guns like the Radian Weapons Model 1 AR, I think I did that. Actually, I think I did that one at a 100-yard range, okay? So I did 25 and 50 and then move it out to 100 yards. I guess sighting in the gun to kind of figure out how it works is just not something that he's interested in. But why he has to say I have to go pound salt instead of pound salt, and then he lost me, and then to wake up. I'm fairly certain that even the best shooters in the world, when they're first getting on a new firearm, probably start off at closer distances and work their way out. I really don't think many people start off at the furthest distance their range allows without understanding the scope or shooting the gun ever. I mean, maybe some people do. But I document everything and kind of take you on the journey with me and what I discover. Because sometimes if I'm shooting at a shorter distance, I'll discover something about the gun and that I want to share with you. And maybe you're the type of gun owner that would buy this gun and you only have access to a 100-yard range or a 50-yard range. And you're like, what would somebody like me think about this gun? That's the content that I make. But instead of just clicking away from the video and thinking, okay, this guy's not for me, I don't think he's very good. No, they have to say something mean like that. It makes me kind of sad. All right. Our next comment, excuse me, is on the range report of the Beretta PX4 Storm compact pistol in 9mm. This is one of my latest releases on my channel. And Music Man. Now, that's kind of sad because I'm a musician myself, but Music Man, with kind of a little scary little icon here for his profile picture, he says, if you'd quit shooting 9mm, the 40 wouldn't be so snappy. Grow a pair. Now, many times when I get these comments on these videos where I talk about recoil impulse, it's on guns that are often chambered in calibers that I think are too big for that gun. You know, I like 40. I really do, but I like it in certain guns that are designed for that caliber. So, for example, the HK USP. The HK USP was designed around the 40 and then scaled down to 9, which makes 9 even better in that gun. But, you know, taking a gun that was designed for 9mm, moving it up to 40, it puts a lot more stress on that frame, the barrel, the slide, so forth. And you see that with like the longevity of guns that are chambered in 40, like Glock 23s, 22s, which are essentially Glock 19s and 17s kind of chambered up. They don't typically last as long and they have more issues. But I also review these once again from the perspective of an average gun guy, or I think an average gun guy, where maybe if you don't go to the range every week, you know, go to the range once in a while, recoil impulse is going to be important to you. Or maybe you're someone that has weaker hands, or you're thinking about trying to figure out what would be the best gun for my girlfriend or wife or your mom or something in that, you know, demographic. And you're thinking, okay, they probably couldn't handle 40. Maybe 45 is a little bit too much for them. 357 SIG's too much. But 9? Okay. Wonder what 9 feels like in this gun. How does it compare? I think that's important data to get out there. One of the things about the gun community, I mentioned this in my last comments video, there's a lot of people out there that are real alpha. They just want to shoot the most powerful handgun in the smallest package possible. And if you're not shooting that, you're a wimp or whatever. And my response to this is every caliber has a pro and a con. Okay, so we can agree that 40 ballistically, out of a similar firearm, similar barrel length, is ballistically a little bit better. Okay, heavier grain bullet, traveling a little bit faster. But when it comes to the actual practicality of calibers, when it comes to your pistol, as long as you're pretty much using a center fire pistol caliber, they about all do the same, okay? I know people are like, 45 is the way to go, it has the most knockdown power. Okay, well, does it? 9mm, you get a lot of capacity. 40, you get better ballistics. But when it comes to the actual statistics from the FBI, I believe the rule is 3 cubed, is what they say. You're most likely going to fire 3 shots at 3 feet, and I forgot what the third one was. But anyway, I forgot what it is. So it's 3 shots, 3 feet, and something else. But anyway, whatever it is, you know, you're not going to need a 45 or not. It doesn't really matter if you have a 40, a 45, a 9, a 357 SIG. For like 90% of defensive handgun engagements, 95%, the caliber is not going to matter. Because if it does, I would ask you, can you point to a story? And this is a challenge for anybody that disagrees with this statement, that caliber doesn't matter in a handgun. Can you point to a story where somebody used a firearm in self-defense and it is reported that if they only would have had a 40 caliber handgun, they would have survived? Meaning, for example, they were in a situation where they had to pull their firearm, whether it be in a mall or a defensive gun use in the street or your home, and they ended up dying or getting really hurt because their gun was in 9 and not 40. And the experts say, well, if they would have had a 40 caliber, this all would have been done. No, I've never seen that. I have never seen that ever. Pretty much, if a 9mm isn't going to stop somebody, a 40 isn't going to stop them either. And I know some people say, well, there's, barrier penetration and all that kind of stuff. Most of the time, you're not having to shoot through barriers. And if you're in a defensive firearms use and you're shooting through barriers to try to hit somebody, because you can't see your target, you don't know what lies beyond, and you're going to be liable if you hit an innocent person. So I always say that when it comes to my philosophy of gunfights, the best way to win a gunfight is not be involved in a gunfight, okay? Pulling my firearm is my last line of defense, and I'm not going to use it in an offensive way. I'm going to use it in a defensive way. Typically use it to get away, right? If somebody's attacking me, somebody's shooting at me, I'm going to use it to get away, and I'm not going to shoot indiscriminately into a bear. I don't know what lies beyond if I can't see my target. Man, that is a big no-no in my book. Now, if the situation requires it, there's always going to be some type of X factor that you cannot account for. But for the most part, whether you carry a 45, a 40, 357 SIG, 9mm, it's not going to matter. You're still going to have the same for the most part, stopping power in most situations. And I'm telling you, 95% of situations. It's not like if somebody's coming up to you and, you know, you shoot them with a 9 because they're attacking you with a knife, or you shoot them with a 45, you're probably going to stop them either way. Okay? And the whole myth of 45 having the stopping power isn't really true. Yeah, it's a heavier bullet going slower, but it's not like the movies where you shoot them with a 45 and they go flying 10 yards back. Okay? It's going to be pretty much the same thing. But so I'll take capacity personally over power, and I'll take it over the diameter of the bullet. So for me, 9 is just my favorite caliber in a handgun. Is it the most powerful? No. But I find that when it comes to balancing the pros and cons, it's the overall best caliber for me. With the advancements in ballistics, you have 9mm that compete on the same playing field now as 40 because of bullet, composition, materials, bullet design, powders, and now we even have, plus P ammo that you can carry that's going to give you the same, for the most part, the same type of stopping power or ballistics as a 40, if that's the way you want to go. But then you get more capacity. But this person is just one of those people that just wants to be mean, I guess, and just be like, grow a pair. I guess you can't shoot 40. I can shoot 40 all day, just in the right gun. All right. Last comment of the day we have on my product review of the bootleg 4-position adjustable AR-15 bolt carrier. And this one is by Hidden Rebel. And he says, at this point, I need to make YouTube videos if this is the standard. So I guess he thinks that my videos are not very good. Well, I kind of agree with him. I'm not that good of a YouTuber. I'm not charismatic. I'm not the easiest on the eyes, I don't have that deep voice like Grantham, I don't have that. I'm not, the grandpa type figure like Hickok 45. I'm just me, okay? Middle-aged dude in his garage. That's it. Wanting to share his passion and love of firearms. And that's all I can do. I'm a one-man show. This is not what I do for a living. I am a music teacher. I do this on my time off. That's what I do. What is it now? It's almost 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. I really should be doing other stuff around the house. I got stuff to clean, stuff to build. I got paperwork I have to go do. But I'm not here in the garage doing this because I just enjoy it. You don't have to watch, and if you didn't watch, I'd probably still be making content because my livelihood is not attached to this content, this channel, my main channel, and what I do. It has nothing to do, whether I had the channel, I'd still be fine, okay? I love doing this because it's my personal hobby and passion project. So I'm not going to have the resources or maybe the desire to make this a professional level channel, or my main channel anyway. I do the best that I can. I think I have a decent camera. I got a nice mic set up. I just do my best, and I review a lot of guns. I'm going to miss things in my reviews. I might say something that's wrong from time to time. But yeah, so obviously the quality of my content did not meet the expectations of Hidden Rebel. And I guess he just wanted to disparage me. But I want to say this to him. I doubt he's watching this and will ever see this because this was on the main channel. If you want to make YouTube content, I would support you. I want every one of you guys to go make YouTube content. I do. Because I want you to understand this side of it. It's not just simply turning on a camera and talking. There's so much preparation, even in my terribly produced videos. I have probably 2 to 3 hours of work that go in before I even turn on the camera here in the garage on a range report. I have to go to the range. I have to edit the range footage. I have to figure out what I want to talk about the gun. I have to research the gun. I have to write a little bullet point script. Then I come out here, find time between my job that I'll work 10 hours a day on. So I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I'll turn the camera on, I'll film the segments, and sometimes it takes me literally for a 25-minute range report of me talking out here. it's 2 hours of filming because I stutter, I stammer, I say the wrong things, I forget to say something, I have to refilm segments. I have to do that. So I'll have 5 to 5.5 or sometimes 6 hours into a video that's 20 to 25 minutes long. Okay? It's just the way it is. And I put my heart into these. I put my blood, sweat, and tear into these. It's what I do. And I don't think people that watch content truly understand that. They really think it's just turning on a camera. And some YouTubers, that's what it is. In fact, that's what I do on this channel and kind of why I like making content on this channel, because I just turn my phone on and poof, here I am. I don't have to edit any of this really, except for putting in the comments for this video. But you would be surprised, no matter what you make, how people will hate you, what they'll say. It's bizarre to me. There's so many channels that I don't like, I just click away because I'm not going to fill my time in my life watching things that I don't enjoy or don't get anything out of. But like I say, when it comes to other YouTubers that I don't like, okay, like Arm Scholar, okay, I don't like the guy, okay? I can't tell you why, besides it's clickbait. There's just something about him I don't like. But guess what? I don't go to his channel. I don't watch any of his videos anymore. I don't comment on his videos. I don't tell him he's an idiot. Why would I do that? And I also understand that other people enjoy his content. I might not understand that. I might not want to promote it, but I'm not going to go out there and disparage him into his face. I'm not going to be like, you're a moron, you're a blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to, because actually I know how hard it is to do this content. And I'm sure for him, he has to turn on his camera. He has to know what he's going to say. He writes his scripts. He does all of his stuff, his research. So I can respect that. I respect that he puts in the time and the hard work to build his brand. Might not be for me, but it is for other people. And I think that's wonderful. And all these people that think just turning on a camera and just recording it because you're so good, then I want you to make content. If you really think you can, please do, because it would only enrich the firearms community. It really would. If you have things to say that I don't, or that I miss, or I do it wrong, make your own channel. I would support you. You'll discover what this is like. And I'm not saying, oh, woe is me. What I'm saying is that you'll go, oh man, this is not what I thought it was. It's not just turning on a camera, it's actual preparation. It's like having an extra job you get paid nothing for. Nothing, okay? And you realize and begin to appreciate the people that put in the hard work and the time. And you'll watch and get more out of those videos. When I watch a channel like TFB TV or whoever, or Military Arms Channel, I know what goes into those videos. And so I appreciate them more. I may disagree, may not like a certain one, but I understand. And I get to see it from that perspective. But also, I don't make good stuff. I fully admit it. I am just an average guy. I'm an average dude. I have no degree in, filmography, videography. I've learned everything just kind of doing it myself. I'm not the greatest. I don't have a lot of time to do it. And that's it. So I don't make the best content. But if you can make better content on the same stuff I do, please make a channel, make YouTube content. Do it. You'll learn about what it's like to make YouTube content. And if you are as good as you say you are and have knowledge that I don't have, or the abilities that I don't have, then you're only going to enrich the Second Amendment community. And I support that, and I think everybody should do it. That would be awesome. Imagine if we had an army of people making Second Amendment content that is 10 or 15 times the size of what it is today. Imagine how strong our community would be. We would only be better through strength in numbers. But it's really easy to sit behind a keyboard and comment and act like you're all tough, but actually not do it yourself. I say put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. Excuse my language. You either got to take a shit or get off the pot, right? I put my content out there, and I'm willing to, take proper criticism for what I do. I fully admit I get things wrong. I know that I stutter. I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I'm not charismatic. I know that I'm not the most attractive guy in the world. I get it. I get it. But I'm willing to do something for the cause, to invest my time, energy, and treasure into this and not get much back out of it, because I feel like I'm helping the Second Amendment community as a whole and trying to promote the Second Amendment in a responsible way. So this person here obviously disagrees and just wants to try to hurt me. But I just don't put up with that kind of stuff. So they just got banned, and I did not even respond. So that is the mean comments of the week. Only 4 of them this week, but those were the highlights. So what do you guys think? Anyway, do you guys understand why people are mean? I know that I don't. I don't understand why people feel like they have to do that, and they can just click away. But anyway, that's it. I know this has been a long video, almost 36 minutes. So what's the second word of the day? Second word of the day, if you made it to the end of this segment, is mean. Mean. M-E-A-N. Because those were some mean comments. So let me know what you guys think about the upcoming projects. What do you like or don't like about them? How should I review them? What order should I do it in? And what do you guys think about the comments? So thanks for joining me here in the garage. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. So have a wonderful weekend. And as always, thanks for watching.